Hey folks, Kyle here with OSS. It's early March here in south central Wisconsin. It is an incredibly beautiful day out, so getting out and doing some frost eating today. I don't own any of my own property. I like to say I'm down with OPP. For the younger people, that's other people's property. This is an old family piece. It's extended family. It used to be a lot bigger many years ago, but now we're down to about 10 acres of usable hunting land. It's never a spot where we're going to get the largest bucks. I mean, we have some good opportunity, don't get me wrong, but it's still one of my favorite places to go because there's a lot of deer, there's a lot of action, and then just the family connection. My old man's been hunting in this spot for well over 50 years, so we're out here today, gonna do some frost seeding. We're gonna pull a few cameras, refresh a few other cameras, and then just take a quick look around, find a little sign, see where they're at, and then also hopefully pick up a shed or two. It's pretty much tamarack bog, and for the most part. We have a little high ground up by the old farmhouse. That's where our food plot is. But otherwise, it's mainly just nasty tamarack bog, so we have a harder time catching sheds in here. But yeah, we'll see what we can find today.
We're out at one of Kyle's family pieces, today, and Kyle's getting some frost seeding in the background, as you can see. You know, it's a smaller acreage. It's kind of tamarack filled, a little more lowland than highland, but these seed qualities are fantastic. In an area that doesn't have a lot of food, it's always nice that we can put in these little hidey hole plots. This plot's maybe 1/8 of an acre at most. But when all the browse and everything else is not available later in the spring before everything starts to wake up, it's sure nice to have this clover plot handy for the deer and for the turkeys. And Kyle's going to take his boy out for the first time this year, and we'd like a nice lush clover plot for Kyle's boy to shoot a turkey over. So we're trying to frost seed right now, get some early germination, try to take advantage of this frost seeding. It is so easy. You need a hand spreader. You can be a novice at this or an expert. It doesn't matter. As long as you get seed to soil contact and there's some sunlight that hits the ground, it is such an easy process to do.
This is clover. It'll come up well. Some of it's expanded, so it might not come up the best because we didn't really prep it. But whatever doesn't come up will probably come in end of summer and hit brassicas.
Yeah, you're going to do that anyways, aren't you? Or no, you're going to leave this clover?
Depends how lush it is and where. Invariably, there's going to be spots we're going to put some brassicas in.
Okay.
But we could talk about it then, I suppose. Or we could talk about it now and then. Because we want more information.
Yeah.
Because we're not doing 90-second Facebook clips. You have to get that through your head, Josh. Okay. This is disappointing. We've had a couple toms come through on camera on the upper plot, but not like I'm used to seeing out here.
So you guys are usually hammered in them out here.
Usually. Although, you know who? I've never shot one out here. Not without opportunity. Like, I've always, I could have blasted them so many times. I wanted it to come further for dad or something, and just haven't.
Yeah.
Called plenty in for cash out here. Yeah, that's one thing, too. I was thinking about, I am not a good caller at all.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is, sometimes I'll get on a rhythm where I'm fighting with, a boss hen, and I can sound pretty good. You know? But I've over the years, it seems like sometimes when I'm, sounding the worst, it's the most effective. If that makes any sense? So
It does, because I sound bad a lot of the times, and it still works.
Yeah, but I thought maybe I should actually try to, do a little better. We're going to fill filming stuff. You've been recording the whole time, haven't you?
No.
Oh, good. What was I even looking at? Not a shed. Do you mind if we just do like a square, or just go around the property line and then come back?
Yeah. Sure.
You never know what we'll find. I love these cameras. I mean, I would love them even if I had to pay for them. That makes sense. Yeah. Nope. So we're back here in the tamarack swamp, just pulling cameras and moving some stuff around, doing a little scouting. So, like I said, we only have 10 acres here that we can hunt. And we always try to shoot the oldest bucks we can, manage the best we can, but we're pretty limited, obviously, with only 10 acres. A few years ago, neighbors to our south sold, and the new guys that came in, they bought 160 acres, which is a very large piece for this area. Like I said, we're on like 10 acres. The neighbors here that hunt, they have 5 acres, 40 off to our west, so it's pretty standard for kind of south central Wisconsin. But they've come in over the past 3 years or so. They've done a lot of TSI. They shot a lot of does. Same thing we try to do. They only shoot larger, older bucks, and I mean, in 3 years' time, we've really seen the improvement. The neighbors before them, and there's nothing wrong with what the neighbors did before, but they shot anything that came through. And you know, I'm not one to judge if that's what they want to do. More power to them. I really don't care. If you want to shoot whatever you want, if you're just trying to fill your freezer, honestly, more power to you. But you know, we like the challenge of trying to shoot older, larger bucks, so it's been very nice, and it just goes to show you the power of what neighbors can do. So if it is something you're interested in, one of the most important things you can do is talk to your neighbors and just try to get them on board with your plan. And even if they're not into large racks, it's just better for the land, you know, making sure that your land can carry X amount of deer, getting it to that level, you know, and let's be honest, who doesn't like seeing larger bucks? So I pulled this camera from the deeper part of the swamp because I had it there for deer travel, but I'm moving it out here just to hopefully catch some turkeys on camera. This always acts like as a historical strut zone. My son is going to turkey hunt for the first time this year, so I plan on brushing in a blind, and I just like to make sure that historical patterns are still staying put, because we probably won't be doing nearly as much running and gunning as we used to. So moving the Yellowstone camera over here, hopefully catch some turkeys. These Yellowstone cameras are just incredible. I set this out probably maybe the end of June, early July, sometime in that time frame, and it is still on the original batteries. I was going to I brought batteries. I was going to change it out, but since it's close to the road and they still seem good, I'm just going to let it ride. I've never really had a camera go this long. I mean, it takes great video and pictures too. That's what's crazy about it. So well worth the money. This is the best camera I've ever actually used. So to set these up, it's about the easiest one I've ever done. Just slide the button over to setup and wait till you get your indicator lights. Found its signal, slide it to on, and I'm done. And we're set.
Here, whenever you're ready.
Okay. I'm not.
Yeah.
All right, so we only had an hour or so out here today, but got some cameras pulled and moved around, and most importantly, we got the frost seeding in. For anyone that hasn't frost seeded, it is so easy, and you don't need a lot of heavy equipment. A little site prep, at the end of the year, in the fall goes a long way, but just needed my bucket seed, a spreader. That's it. It doesn't seem like it should work as well as it does, but come this spring, when the growing season starts, we'll have a lush clover plot in there. So, productive day. Always great to get out in the woods, and now back to reality.